Hello, I am the real-life fake wizard. Buckle up, everyone. Nintendo is doing evil, greedy, corporate nonsense again. And we gotta talk about it. Last week was the September 2025 Nintendo Direct. I didn't get the chance to watch it live, but I have seen it now, and oh, let's see! A new Fire Emblem game! Fire Emblem is in my top 5 favorite franchises of all time, and it's a Switch 2 exclusive. Well, that sucks. I'll be skipping this one, or, I don't know, maybe I'll play it at my buddy Jack's house. Wink. Okay, but there's more to talk about than just going over each announcement, right? Though it is important to see that this Fire Emblem game is a Switch 2 exclusive. Donkey Kong Bonanza was exclusive, Mario Kart World was exclusive. After the announcement of the Switch 2, Nintendo of America President Doug Bowser alluded to the Switch 1 remaining as part of the active hardware for Switch games. We had that famous quote, "We recognize there are some people that may not be able to afford the Switch 2's price point. That's why we wanted to make the other Switch platforms available, so people still have an opportunity to come into our gaming universe." Well, apparently that's a crock of crap. We're not even 6 months from the release of the Switch 2, and 3 major releases are Switch 2 exclusives. And it doesn't stop there. Kirby Air Riders is exclusive, Mario Tennis Fever is exclusive, and the new Hyrule Warriors game is exclusive. So that whole quote from Doug Bowser was just a complete lie, I guess? And we're just getting started here, folks. Swearing off the Switch 2 is not fun. But after what we're about to discuss, I genuinely can't understand how people are okay with buying this stuff from Nintendo. Let's look at the Mario Galaxy announcement. No, not the movie, the game bundle. Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, originally Wii games that sold so many copies that they were given the Nintendo Select branding, are being bundled and released for $69.99. $70 for 2 games that were $20 a piece just a decade ago. Oh, and these aren't remasters or remakes. They're ports to the Switch 1. And if you wanted to buy them separately, because perhaps you got the 3D All-Stars bundle a few years ago, each game will run you $40 a pop. This is ridiculous, right? This isn't just me. Ports of Nintendo Select Wii games are $40 a piece, $70 for the lot. I don't know. That, plus the weight of what we're about to talk about, it just makes things worse. Like, we're starting this Sunday with the cherry on top. Pokemon Legends ZA. Yay! We all love Pokemon here, right? Personally, I do, or I did. Although I opted out of the franchise at Scarlet and Violet because of how terrible they were to look at. But anyway, Legends ZA is getting a Switch 1 and Switch 2 edition, with the Switch 1 clocking in at $60 and Switch 2 clocking in at $70. A $10 bump for what exactly? Quote, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition features improved performance, enhanced resolution, and smoother frame rates, meaning Lumio City is now more vibrant than ever. Okay, so it's $10 more for a better frame rate and better video quality. That's it? That's ridiculous. But that's not the worst part. There's still more. On launch day, Legends ZA is going to have a $30 DLC add-on that includes the end game. Yeah, that's right. If you've played Pokemon games before, you do the main game, you beat the Elite Four in the Pokemon League, and then there's some kind of an end game. But here, it looks as though Nintendo and Game Freak have carved away the endgame just to sell it back to you for $30. This is day one $30 DLC that is available on day one. This isn't a pre-order of content that's still in development to come later, which means in order to get the complete day one version of this game with decent graphics, you're not spending $70. You're spending $100. But wait, there's still more! This Pokemon Legends ZA game is something of a prequel sequel to Pokemon X and Y, which had their own starter Pokemon. In Legends, those starter Pokemon will be getting Mega Evolution upgrades. In order to actually acquire these upgrades, you will need to compete in online ranked battles across 3 seasons. Okay, well that requires a Nintendo Switch Online subscription, and because it's spread out over 3 seasons, we're looking at least 3 months of content at the minimum, which means 3 months of subscription to NSO, which means an additional $12 added to our day one full game price point. Pokemon Legends ZA costs $112. Can I pause here and say that in the past, I have received death threats for saying Nintendo is a greedy company? Yeah, people have sent me pretty nasty emails with very serious threats in them. And look, I'll say again, you could say it with me if you'd like. Nintendo is a greedy company that is ripping off consumers who are too addicted and too attached to these brands to reject them. $112 for a Pokemon game that looks and runs as if it was on the Wii is pathetic. Pokemon Coliseum came out in 2004, and every single Pokemon has unique animations, and it retailed for $50 on release, complete game and all. This $112 package, like, it's ridiculous. But wait, because there's still more. Apparently, carving the endgame out of Nintendo games to sell it back to you for tens of dollars is the vibe now. Donkey Kong Bonanza got an endgame DLC for $20 the same day as this Nintendo Direct, and the reports are in. This thing is bare bones empty. There is little to nothing to do. On this, I have to take first-party accounts at their word, because I don't own a Switch 2, nor do I own Bonanza, nor would I spend $20 on nonsense endgame DLC. For comparison, Hollow Knight Silksong was a long-awaited game from a developer that would be considered indie-sized, but with AAA cash because of their success. This game was more or less shadow dropped with no pre-order option for $20. It peaked at 587,000 players on Steam, and that's just Steam. This game is available on a lot of systems and consoles, which means the idea that charging more money gets better experiences from developers is complete bogus. $20 for Silksong, $50 for Expedition 33, $30 for Blueprints, $30 for Pal World. The $80 games conversation is bleeding its integrity. There are games popping up all the time from developers all over the world that are cheaper in price point, but matching in quality or superior to AAA video game experiences. Am I sad that I'm missing out on the next Fire Emblem? Maybe, but not really. Because I just discovered the Dark Deity series on Steam, which is inspired by classic Fire Emblem games. So I don't feel like I'm missing anything now. And Dark Deity 2 is only $25. See, this is where I've been coming from with this fake Portal project I've been talking about in all my videos. Now that I'm going out and looking for indie games, or you guys have been sending me indie games to put on this website, which acts as a bridge for us gamers to play and find new games, there are so many video games out there that we don't even know exist that would not only scratch the itch of the particular games we're looking to play, but also you're supporting indie developers. But also the price points are better. But also you're sticking it to companies like Nintendo that think they can charge $20 and $30 for endgame content they carved out of the game to sell back to you. Hey, did you hear about the Nintendo patent situation? Yeah, there's even more bad news. In 2023, Nintendo filed a patent in the United States on a specific gameplay mechanic involving companion battles, or more precisely, the summoning of sub-characters in video games. Essentially, Nintendo filed to patent a gameplay loop that looked something like this. The player moves, summons via throwing, auto-engage or auto-move based on the environment, and then battle. Oh, you mean the gameplay mechanics in the recent Pokemon games. And Pal World. And some other indie-developed games. That mechanic? Yeah, so the patent was filed in 2023, and it was granted September 2nd, 2025, just a couple of weeks ago. Nintendo has even more control on the gaming market now, reinforcing their ability to charge $112 for their games, because if they keep it up, there won't be anyone else in the marketplace for those games. The US government, in all their genius, is paving the way for monopolization with a company that has been engaging in a lot more anti-consumer practices than usual. Now, I'm no lawyer. I'm just a fake wizard. A fake wizard that is sick of watching bad guys win. These mega corporations, Nintendo, oooo, they are the bad guys. And the only way to fight them is to stop playing their games and go play others instead. FakePortal.com is a free resource to help you find new games to play. There are over 100 there so far, with 1 million more well on the way. Until next time, create, innovate, inspire, and for the love of God, cancel Disney Plus, which I cannot believe is trending right now on Twitter. Cancel Disney Plus, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.